Wow, wow, wow. This market has gone completely insane. But there's some stuff I want to talk about today regarding like my portfolio stock market comparison to the past and kind of where we're at now. Um, like different YouTubers and what they're doing, especially for the new investors that are, hearing about all these gains being made and wanting to get in and then getting slaughtered. Big versus small money and how that will affect Dogecoin. Flipping for the weekend, kind of like my plan of what I would do, like my game plan for staying in the market this weekend. Panic selling and people taking gains, GME and AMC hype, the stimulus coming up, and what's going on with Robinhood. So there's a lot to get into. I'll make everything kind of quick. But yeah, so starting off here, Robinhood's like literally broken. And like if you look at my week, month, like 3 months, year, I don't know what's going on. I didn't put $15,000 into the stock market, so it's just kind of getting weird, man. Like, this should be about 300%. I don't even know if I have 22,000 in my Robinhood account. I know I at least have 20,000. Yeah, so there's just so much to talk about. So the app on Robinhood's like completely broken, even the desktop version. They're gonna have some fixes for bugs, and all that stuff. Robinhood's been banning trading on certain trades that they deem unworthy or don't want to put their customers at risk, and that's a very dangerous, slippery slope. So like, whenever they're saying, oh no, you can't invest in this, they're going down like this. Oh, you're a brokerage, man. Like people use you for them. If they want to put money into like something that is going to ultimately fail, like that's their prerogative. Like it's not Robinhood's job to protect people. Like, it's your money. If you lose it or you gain, I mean, that's on you, right? So everything's a risk. Uh, but so now there's like lawsuits that are coming out against Robinhood, and obviously the base is upset, and like the ratings and everything. There have been so many funny and terrible ratings on the App Store for Robinhood. I will be switching to Fidelity, but I'll be putting a little bit in my Robinhood account in case I want to continue using a little bit of cryptos, just because Robinhood's where you can buy and sell cryptos. Uh, so that's kind of where I'm at right now, but. Yeah, I did extremely well this weekend. I saw this right here. I saw Elon tweet this, the goodest issue. I'm talking about Dogecoin, and yeah, it was just I was like, okay, I have to get in. So before I went to work on Friday, I only put about $1,500 into DOGE, and this was kind of what my average was. Down here, I got them at 0.012, so just over, a cent. And I kept buying, and then after I got out of work, I was up 100%, and I was like, okay, I have to do this stuff. I got to get in, so I got in more and more. And then, as you can see, I sold out 0.36 and 0.051. So this was a good time for me, and then I got back in, started getting back in, 0.041. I still kept a little bit in, but I started getting in and in again, and then I sold last night, so I made a small profit on that, 10, 12%, and my account was at $26,000, but I'm not even mad. Like, how can you be mad? I went from 15 to 20, I made, $5,600 this weekend, and, I'm not risking it for the biscuit, man. You know what they say, pigs get slaughtered, and that's exactly what's happening up here, on StockTwits for DOGE. And there's something I wanted to talk about is there's so many people that are just spreading a bunch of I think these are all like new investors. Like I think people are just making up the amounts they're putting in, but I think that a lot of these people are just new investors, especially the ones that are, just following the hype, right? So they were in GME, they were in AMC, and now they wanted something fun for the weekend, and they just got slaughtered. So like look at DOGE. Like, just taking a look at DOGE, like, over the past week, right? So, there was this big hype, and people are still getting in. I've seen people still holding from up here, and, they've lost, they're down, 60%, or some odd percent. And that's like, man, no way, don't, So, take your profits and go, but if you're getting in and you're chasing the stock, no, man, that's how you end up in that's how you end up in your own grave. trying to bury yourself alive in the stock market. So, taking a look on another subject here, the stock market comparison, is kind of where the stock market is right now. As you see, all these companies, all these great companies, they're putting out fantastic news. They're beating earnings. Like, if you take a look at Apple, they destroyed what they were expected on this last earnings, right? And they started going up. But how are they down 8% over? I don't know if this is because Robinhood's messed up, but I do know they were at $140. So how are they like this messed up? How are they this screwed on losing 8% of what their stock is worth when they beat gains, right? So this is where you start considering, okay, well, this is weird. If a company beats earnings, it should attract new buyers or bump up the stock price, but we've seen it go down. So this is where I'm kind of worried, right? So you have people taking their money out to get into all these hype plays, but also, if a stock like this doesn't fly after fantastic earnings, there's something wrong with the market. Or somebody has insider information that Apple's there's insider trading and they've reported the wrong numbers or they're misleading the shareholders. But no, obviously that's not what's occurring. But there's something that's definitely wrong when a company like this is down 8% this week. And I think it's because the stock market is so inflated right now with everything. Like, you just saw Tesla. You just saw Tesla lose $100 on their share price. Good thing I got out to get into those plays. But I sold at, for a small, it was only like $10 a gain at $8.31. And I got back in after I was done with DOGE yesterday. But yeah, there's just so much that's going on. But if like that, and Microsoft, it isn't just Apple. You got Microsoft down, Tesla down, all these companies down. Tesla's understandable, but once you see like Microsoft go down after beating earnings, Apple beating earnings, them going down, it's like there's something wrong. So if this next week it doesn't pick back up to that 8%, I might just keep holding my buying power here and just let what I have ride, because it's starting to get kind of dangerous in the stock market, and where I think that we're going to start seeing the stock market fail much faster than my earlier projections of 1 to 2 years. I think that with all this GME and there's a crap ton of people gaining money, losing money, and the people gaining money are probably the ones that know exactly what they're doing. The little guys are getting screwed because they're just plain stupid. Like, they're just being dumb. At the end of the day, people aren't in the stock market to prove a point, all right? They'll follow the trend to make money. But I'm not in it to, say F to the man, with the Wall Street guys. I'm in it to make money. So if I can pull a short squeeze on them short term, yeah, all right. But am I riding these plays? No, nope. Just flipping them, because it's too dangerous to stay in. Because you've seen, Robinhood take GME off, and you have AMC. I actually made a few dollars off AMC yesterday. But you see 67%, but if you look at the past month, right? So if somebody got in here, they might have panic sold down here. So or they stayed in. But I don't think this is not going to hold. This next month, I think the GameStop will be back around $100 after this month. And that'll still be based. You'll still see those flies, but it's just too dangerous to play this. So that's kind of where I'm at right now in my plays. I don't have any in mind, all right? I still think ZOM's going to be successful whenever they release news. I still think FuelCell has some rise, but I am going to be placing stop losses on these because I'm not going to be willing to take the risk of, losing what I have already gained. And like I said, don't be a pig, because pigs get slaughtered. Sorry. But yeah, and then you have all these big YouTubers promoting like, oh, you get in GME, it's doing great. And then you have them talking about, and these aren't even the big, these are like the small guys that, anybody with a couple years of experience in the stock market would understand that they're talking bullshit and they have no idea what the hell's actually happening. I don't know where they're getting their information, but I think they're just throwing their money in plays, going to the investor relations page, reading the summary and not doing the full research, and then suggesting the stock to others. And with the market, it's just been continuing to rise. because that's what it's kind of doing right now, right? There's a huge hype in everything in the stock market still. The trend is still up. So anything that you really put your money into, you're going to see success, at least short term, I would say, for the, I would argue for the small amount, just for the short term. And so that's kind of what's going on, is these little guys are getting in, having no idea what they're doing with their money. They barely understand how the stock market works. They just like to see numbers go up, but they don't understand what it's like to, see this DOGE or something like this, where they get in, at the top, right? So they got in at 0.8, say, or around 0.6 or 0.7, and now it's down to 0.3. They don't know how to handle this, so that's just kind of where it's at, and people were saying $1. Like, for this, I don't think people understand, like, how much money needs to go into DOGE for there to be a $1 or even a 10-cent hit, right? There has to be an insane amount of money for you to, to see that kind of like 10,000%, move. And if it went to $1, we'd all be billionaires. How is that? Where's all that money coming from? Like, people aren't going to keep shorting a company that's, or even a crypto that's, flying, right? So they're going to want to see some consolidation, or they might just keep flipping it. Who knows? So you're going to need to see like billions of dollars go into GOGE, and where it's at now, it's just a hype, right? So people with that amount of money have usually, or I don't think that they just found it on the side of the road. They've just played the market safe, and they've done their research, and they've put in the time. So why would they risk all of that time, money, and gains into DOGE to make a quick buck when they know that in the future, if they hold that, they're at least guaranteed something, but if they get into DOGE, they're going to lose it all. And people are like, the reason why DOGE is having a tough time right now is because people can't deposit money from their bank into Robinhood, and can't trade on margin right now. And I was like, dude, that's definitely not it, because people that are putting money in from their bank account, they aren't the ones that are going to move the company, right? They're not the one. Who cares? $300, what's that going to do? Like, it's not going to move. You're just going to be at the same stage. So you need like someone investing, many people investing millions of dollars, which is not going to happen. So that's why it's a flip. Now, with these kind of flips, it's good to have a plan, right? So I might put in DOGE, I might put like $3,000 in at 0.02. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so at 0.02, once I see that, I might put some money back in, $3,000, and I'm gonna let it ride to 0.22 or to the zeros there. So 0.22 or and then I'm gonna ride it to 0.025, but I'll probably get in around 0.02. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. You got to have a game plan for these people getting in now. I mean, the stocks, it's holding, but it isn't, what you'd really like to see. So that's kind of what's going on, and I think it's going to continue dropping tomorrow and the next day, and next week it's going to take a massive hit. This might be down to 0.01. So yeah, people are just taking their losses and going. Last night I was watching this, and people were just going crazy, like, hold, they were cussing out the chat, like, hold, they were just saying all that stuff. So those are the people that are like, like, it's the stock market, man. People are in it to make money, not lose money, right? So if you're holding this, you're just losing money. So why would you do that, right? You'd have to have and people don't have a game plan with this. They just expect to see the numbers rise. But you don't have a plan, you're destined to fail, right? So that's kind of my 2 cents on this and what's going on. Yeah, people are mad. It's like, dude, you're investing. It's your money. If you lose it, it's on you, okay? And people are just confused as to how exactly this works, right? And then they're panic selling, and then they're taking losses or taking gains. And then with the GME AMC hype, people are saying get back into those. I think that you're beating a dead horse, right? So you even look on Wall Street Bets Twitter page, and they put, like, we're in the end game. Like, I get that's the movie, but it is true. Like, we're in the end game now, right? So I don't think that this stuff is going to continue holding long term, and I think the shorts will of course win, because people are going to pull out because they're worried, that they're not going to, that the money's going to drop. People are in there to take gains, So that's kind of how the hype started, right? So people were in there, the stock was flying, and then people wanted to get in on the fun and take some gains. So that's exactly what they did, and that's why you've seen. And somehow GameStop's still holding, but I think over this next week we're going to see it go to half of what it is in at right now. And GME, I believe, is at right around 400, 300. So it's at $300. And then if you look at the past week, you know, it was up 468. So if someone got in there, they're kind of screwed, right? Because I honestly don't think it's going to get back up to that point again. But I guess we'll have to see. I mean, I was wrong whenever this first started, saying I'd never touch GameStop. But yeah, and I think AMC will also see the decline as well. And then you talk about the stimulus check coming in, okay? So there is still hype for the stimulus, but I don't think that it's really going to make a difference anymore. I think the market's beat. Whenever you start seeing, you know, Microsoft and Apple not moving like 5% while everything else is going on, and they're dropping after great earnings, I think the market's going to start, either this next week it might be up a bit, but I think we're going to start seeing a decline over time, starting now. And I get that's hard to predict and all that stuff, but you know, Apple's down 8%. What? Like, it's crazy. So I think that people are just shot out with the money. There's not like more funds to, an insane amount more funds that could push these stocks another 50%. And yeah, with all that said, that's really about it. I'd like to hear what you guys think about the market, but I'm kind of bearish now on the market, and you know, I don't play short plays or I'm not a short or anything like that. So, but yeah, that's really about it. And thanks for watching. I really wish you guys the best on what you're doing. But yeah, for DOGE, there's like a 0% chance. I literally think there's a 1% chance that this will see back over 0.06. I don't think that there's a good chance at all, and I think the people that are still in it are, you know, they're the ones that are going to get slaughtered. So, yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and